Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, kids, welcome into a post-Uncle Milty edition of the JP Peterson Show here. What a night. What a night. I know we're all beleaguered and tired. I know I was up most of the night with the wind just whipping around the house. Saw some incredible wind gusts, felt some incredible wind gusts. But the bottom line is, I think for the most part, we have to be pretty happy about how this turned out. It could have been so much worse. Oh, wow. I think we're all breathing a sigh of relief this morning. I know there's still a lot of people flooded. I know there's still a ton of people without power. That will all come back. The surge was not nearly what we expected, especially in Tampa. I know it was on the Barrier Islands, but for the most part, this catastrophic damage that could have been to the city of Tampa and St. Petersburg was for the most part spared. We'll get into all the ramifications of the storm. But here we are this morning. We thought we'd, I had power. Timmy had power in Dallas. So we said, let's go ahead and do this, maybe give some people a little bit of a respite and some information and talk a little sports and what's going to happen for the teams as we move forward. So good morning to you, IndyCar Tim. Thank you for jumping up with us this morning. I know you weren't scheduled to do this. Nick Geddes has no power. He's out in Fishhawk, so he won't be able to join us today. We're hoping he and his family are safe. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. It's just a normal day here in North Texas and the DFW. And I was up most of the night like you, not being affected by the storm, but monitoring it on numerous media outlets because you can't just trust one these days to know what's going on.
That's the truth.
But yeah, it just looks like, what the worst that we thought could happen, that we thought was going to happen, thankfully looks like that was avoided. But although it's still bad, it's not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, I was listening to Ron DeSantis this morning, and God bless having that man as our governor. You can see what happens when you don't have a strong governor who really, really cares about the people. He is taking charge and not waiting for any federal officials, and certainly not allowing any federal officials and FEMA to do any shenanigans here in the state of Florida as are going on in North Carolina, documented. Documented from the people on the ground, who I will believe more than any politician speaking during an election. So forgive me.
Absolutely.
I was just incensed. I haven't done a lot of political posting in these months, trying to keep away from that. But I was incensed watching that political infomercial put together by the Biden administration to come out and basically do nothing but refute this, quote, misinformation that's going on. The thousands and thousands of videos from people on the ground saying FEMA is not helping. In fact, they are hurting us. Elected officials, sheriffs on the local level who are all sharing these stories. And they have to come out and do an infomercial on, oh, no, this isn't happening. No, whoever's talking about FEMA not having money is lying. That was your own Secretary of Homeland Security, Mayorkas. He said it. And these clowns come out and while the storm is hitting, by the way, I'm trying to get local coverage, and they're preempting for this political infomercial. This is ridiculous. But thank God we have a governor that has got control of this, was well prepared, did a great job with Helene in terms of getting a lot of power back. The people that were staged at Tropicana Field were moved, thankfully. That was a pre-staging. I was like, hopefully they're not keeping them overnight. And of course, we learned Tropicana Field's roof got shredded. It was rated for 115 mile per hour winds, but what we were getting last night was probably more than that in St. Pete, and it did not stand up. The field has no drainage system because it doesn't expect to need drainage. The dugouts are flooded. The field is in bad shape. The cost to repair this will be all on the city. You know that the team will certainly not be paying a penny. And now they have to build a new stadium as well. What are the renovations cost for what would be a couple of years? Would it be 3 years now? If they're not going to open until 28, so you got 25, 26, 20. So you got 3 years. I don't know. What's the cost to repair Tropicana Field? It just now with these two hurricanes and the damage that's been done to St. Petersburg
and potentially more
County.
coming. By the way, hurricane season's not over.
That's right. What's the next one? Nadine.
There's three. There's three of them that are brewing.
I literally saw a model that had the next one hitting, or Nadine, whatever. I think that was the name of it. Hitting the west coast of Florida. But that is not with any certainty whatsoever. It's a long-term model.
Yeah.
Way out. So just like a possibility, but just keep your eyes on the tropics. But yeah, that's not over. It's not over by any long shot. So there's more damage to come. What do we make of the Rays at this point? I think there's a lot of options on the table. Speaking to a couple folks this morning, they mentioned Disney World. Wild World of Sports. They've played games there before. It's a major league facility. It holds about 15,000 and certainly would, be a courtship for your Orlando market. But I question, the future of the actual new stadium. What does this do to the city of St. Petersburg and the county of Pinellas when they realize they have way more important priorities than spending $1.6 billion for a baseball stadium that it's going to be empty most of the time? Facts. They've got stormwater pipe damage right now that they're dealing with. And they have, I believe this project they have on the board is going to cost $600 million to redo the sewer systems in St. Petersburg. Where's that money coming from when you're spending this much money on the stadium? So I think it very much puts it in doubt. And there have been some rumors that Stu may not want to put up his end of the bargain because, getting a title sponsor is going to be, or a naming rights sponsor is going to be a huge part of his contribution. Where's that coming from? So there's a lot there. This will have ramifications on the Rays for many years to come. We don't know. We haven't heard from them yet. We don't know what the situation is. As for I don't see how they could repair that roof within, what are we, probably 6 months out. 6 months out from next season to repair that roof doesn't seem likely.
And the rest of the inside of the stadium that's been damaged too.
Yeah,
it's not just the roof.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage.
Maybe they just take the roof off of it.
and there will be continued to be damage because the more rain that will come as the season goes on, daily rainstorms. I don't think they have a blue tarp big enough to cover that sucker. I don't know. The Army Corps of Engineers, by the way, does give you free blue tarps. I was shot a message by one of our loyal listeners about that. I didn't know that. You get a free blue tarp if you need it. But yeah, so what the Rays do, I don't know. Honestly, it's going to be up in the air. And if they play at Disney, obviously that's going to be a big hit for Tampa Bay fans who have, obviously can't get to the games. So, I thought Steinbrenner Field or the Phillies, the facilities are fantastic. They're major league facilities. They're here in Tampa Bay. The Yankees facility is owned by the Tampa Sports Authority, not the Yankees. And I think even without that being an issue, I don't think the Steinbrenners would keep the Rays from playing there if they wanted to play there.
I wouldn't think so.
No, absolutely not. They wouldn't do that. And the Phillies,
MLB would encourage that to happen for sure. Because
and the Phillies actually are looking for some state money and local money, big chunks of local money from Pinellas County to redo or improve their facilities. So obviously, if local people are paying for it, then the Rays should have access to that stadium complex as well. There's probably language in their contracts that the Phillies or the Yankees have to agree. I don't see why either one of them would discourage that in any way. And those are nice facilities, super nice facilities that can seat upwards of 12, 10, 12, and probably expand it to 15,000. and play outdoor baseball. Shocking development. Yeah. So that would be an option as well. I think fans obviously would prefer that option. I think as to having to drive over to Disney. There could be a combination of them all, which probably would be a smart thing to do. Move it around, and kind of a traveling show, so to speak. What would they call that? Barnstorming back in the day? Yeah, a barnstorming tour where you could, play certain amounts of games at the 3 different parks. I don't know if the players might not love that, but they're gonna have to get creative in this situation. So we shall see how this develops with the Rays and how it affects the new stadium as well. I think that's definitely on the board. Other information about our teams at this point, USF is still planning on playing their game on Saturday. I've not gotten an email to the contrary. Let me check real quick here if we've gotten any emails from the teams in the morning. We have a media advisory for the Bucks media schedule. We got some Zoom meetings today. Liam Cohen will be available at 2:45 and 4 to 4:15. Virtually. We'll have some player availabilities. Baker talked yesterday. Zion McCullough talked yesterday, and Bowles as well. So we'll update you on all that here in just a minute. So that's the only advisory I see as far as that goes. Anything from I checked earlier, did not see anything, but I think we're good to go as far as updates go. So, yeah, I believe as far as I know, and y'all can correct me if you've heard otherwise, Saturday at 3:30 is going to be the USF-Memphis game, and it's a huge game. Leo Haggerty is going to join us here at 10:30 to talk some USF football. He believes that they should probably try to reschedule this game just because of the distractions to the players all week and what a huge game it is. I don't know if Memphis is going to go along with that. There's only so many weekends you can play. So we shall see. As far as the Raymond James Stadium, I saw some pictures there, and it was flooded. Now, they have a really good drainage system there. So I would think by now that that stadium is going to be okay for Saturday. I'll text Eric Hart at the TSA and see if he's got any updates on that during the show. But at this point, did see some pictures, and there was some heavy flooding. But again, they have suction underneath that's obviously probably not designed to handle as much rain as they got. 17 inches, Timmy. In St. Petersburg and Hillsborough County, 17 inches of rain. Holy hell.
Saw that.
Yeah, and there are trees down everywhere. I mean, I saw some video, some mighty oaks. I mean, oaks that are decades and decades, big, huge, hulking trees that have huge root structures and don't come down, came down. I heard we lost a bunch of trees at Palmacia Country Club, my club in Tampa. So I don't know how, and that's, a huge part of that, that historic golf course. So I'll be anxious to see what kind of damage there is there.
They said on the reports I was watching last night, again across multiple platforms because you can't trust just one source these days, that they got as much rain. I think it was in Pinellas County, maybe it was just the area in general, in an hour last night than they normally get in the whole month of October.
Yeah, it's insane. Do you have any do you have any pictures of? I'm gonna see if I can just show you this. This is from Ryan Bass's Twitter, and I think it's the drone footage that's been made available everywhere. If you can see this, put it right there.
Oh yeah,
this is the drone footage.
Yeah,
I mean, just completely torn apart.
There were some photos. Yeah, we can throw up on the screen here.
There were some shreds of the fabric of the roof that blew out onto 275, which is right next door. But you can see, obviously, 3/4 of the roof is gone. All the damage. It looks like the catwalks, for the most part, are intact. I don't. Oh wait, it looks like some have come down. Yeah, I can't tell. Those beams that come down straight from the roof. It looks like one or two of them.
Yeah, maybe missing.
Down.
Yeah,
might be missing. Yeah, that's just dramatic, is it not? That was always, I always thought of all places to build a stadium with a fabric roof in a hurricane area, that
Seems
so many,
weird, huh?
so many parts of the
It's
design.
lasted this long, though.
I know. Yeah, it's shocking. No, really. I mean, shocking, because we've never taken a direct hit, and in terms of the wind field, and
I mean,
that thing's
technically, you still haven't.
Yeah.
We got the phone here.
Yeah.
And Lieutenant Dan here.
Oh, there's Lieutenant Dan,
Lieutenant Dan.
who was exposed as a GoFundMe digital creator, was acting like he was like some homeless guy. He's not.
Right.
Oh, good to know. Woke up twice to pee.
Yeah, here's some still pictures.
I woke up 10 times to pee. What are you talking about?
I did too, as usual.
But that's a regular
That's crazy.
night. Yeah. Good morning to you, Lonnie Wilkins. Thanks to having you aboard. Boy, we got a lot of people watching today. 872 on the numbers right now. That's not all, but that's just one of our platforms. Good morning to all of you there. That's why I wanted to do with this morning. I think people are anxious to hear some sports talk and just an update on what's going on to all of our teams. Lonnie says, absolutely, JP. It could have been much worse. Glad you're doing okay. Thanks for doing this today for the great people in the community. Bring the SPF to the Trop next season. Listen, and I know there's a lot of people online last night where don't make jokes about Tropicana Field. Listen, without levity, you lose your mind. All right? We understand the severity of it. The people that work there, nobody was hurt, so there was nobody in there. They moved all the people and first responders, which was my first concern, which they did. So just relax.
And by the way, shout out to everybody yesterday when there was no show that paid attention for an hour and a half and just watched the still card, the static card that I had on the screen announcing that there would be no show. Hey, by the way, I did run some commercials yesterday, JP. I ran several commercials during that hour and a half.
Oh, well, thank you.
So whoever was watching got some sponsor shout outs as well.
Good. And by the way, I did, I've checked in with some of my sponsors, and there's some very meaningful information from Jeff Italiano, who's, I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this, but his home was just really compromised in Helene.
Oh, no.
And so he's going through it, and like so many others. But just wanted to remind you, and he texted me this. He said, I would say if they have water damage, to get started right away, removing all the wet items from the house and taking pictures. And it's okay to call a restoration contractor even before you meet with the adjuster. So get that going.
Oh, wow.
The big item is never sign a contract to put things back, only to remediate the damage. Okay, so which basically means don't go for the temporary stuff, go for the long term before you sign a contract. Also, it's important to know the difference between flood and hurricane water damage. Your homeowner's policy covers wind-driven rain, which means if a window or roof is knocked off and clean water, rainwater damages your home, your homeowner's insurance will pay for that. Flood insurance is rising water, and we think of it as dirty water that would leave a stain on the house, etc. So you can get some relief if you get flooded, break your window. I'm kidding. That's insurance fraud. You would never do that. But
wow.
So take a couple roofs off the tiles off the roof. Drill a hole. No, kidding. Yes. CP's out there trying to get people to do insurance. Yeah, because that would never happen.
Yeah, nobody would do that.
No one would ever do that. Sal Powell checking in with us, all the folks here. He sent me a bunch of texts making sure we're okay. So he's praying for everybody here in Tampa Bay. Our great friend Sal Powell Antonio will join us next week on the show. Let's just see some other people jumping in. Okay, good.
If you guys are watching on any of the YouTube or Facebook or X outlets here, let us know that you're okay, and let us know what you experienced last night for sure. We'd be happy to.
Yeah, definitely put it in the comments. We want to share with all the people what you all went through last night. I talked to TJ Reeves. I believe he said they lost power last night. Dan Lucas over at News Channel 8 was working the overnight shift. I saw Alina out there doing, all the sports folks were out there doing stuff for Channel 8 last night. Saw that. Trying to reach out to the Lightning, see if there's any information going on there. So I've checked with a lot of folks, reached out to Rich Hollenberg and Paul Wilson, friends of the show, have not heard back from them yet. They both were destroyed in Helene. So they've been working through that. So a little update there on some of our friends. Lonnie says, did you see the footage of Stu puncturing the roof right before landfall? If he has an insurance, I don't think he holds the insurance, though. I think that's the city.
Yeah.
Lonnie says,
funny,
preach, JP. It's all gimmicks from these people, which is now sponsored by Miller High Life on late night television. I got to watch this nonsense unfold. Yeah, just like when I understand the political nonsense, we get it, but don't, not at the cost of lives. I mean, what are we doing? Jeez, Pete. Lonnie says at the end of the day, sports are entertainment, but I feel for the employees and the community. People's homes, lives, and businesses are more important. Yeah, absolutely. Lonnie says also it's wild that it was snow that killed the Metrodome and a hurricane that gets the top. Yeah,
Maybe fabric roofs are just a bad idea.
I think so. That they're just,
technology is advanced beyond the need for fabric roofs.
Hey, scrap the Rays Stadium. Go with the new JP
drone tarp.
No, we're going with Hard Rock World.
That's right, Hard Rock World.
Hard Rock World. Would we have two stadiums connected by a casino and entertainment district?
Yeah.
Yes, all in the middle there, right? And you can go back and forth from stadium when the roof slides over. Yeah, it's a brilliant idea.
And the roof can cover the entertainment part of it when there's no games for outdoor concerts and activities and festivals. And it's a triple purpose roof, right?
I didn't even think of that. You're absolutely right. Now, obviously,
go back and forth.
The casino would need its own roof. Yeah, the casino. Sure. But you could have an open air casino.
Good.
No, you would have. Yeah, but the whole other area part, would be, so it'd be like a big mall, right? Mm-hmm. A big mall, and obviously the restaurants would have their own roofs, but they would have patios and everything, and like during the day you could like roll it over to when you're not using the stadiums, roll it over there, and it becomes a big outdoor.
Yeah, man, we're geniuses
mall.
Here.
We are. It's absolute genius. But an opportunity to do that, maybe that would be absolutely cool, super cool. All right, what else did I want to get to? The iconic Ponce de Leon Hotel sign came down. Saw that. What else? Wasn't it interesting? The tornadoes of all things, tornadoes in Broward County, St. Lucie County killed more people than the actual hurricane did.
The pre-storm,
tons of I think they had 124 hurricane or tornado warnings or sightings yesterday. There was a dual tornado out in the water spouts out on the Atlantic side. So that's how big this storm was. Absolutely incredible. Now the Lightning are up in Raleigh, and they're preparing for tomorrow night's game. Connor Geeky, as you know, made the roster. We didn't talk about that as much yesterday, but we kind of predicted he was going to make the roster. First one since Braden Point to come from juniors straight into a Lightning roster spot. Even Kucherov didn't do that. So he's an incredibly talented young player, and is going to be a huge key to the future. We've talked about this, that not to put so much pressure on the young man, but the Lightning need a star to emerge at that age level. He's 20 years old now. That's going to carry on for Kucherov, and I'm not saying Kucherov is his career is in its prime, and he's got plenty of time left. But I think adding that next layer, of a kid that's got this kind of ability and size and speed, and is only going to get better, with the coaching and the skating coaching that the Lightning do so well. Really interested to see how his career is going to flourish. So all these things kind of, the sporting world will go on. And, these these natural disasters are just, especially here in Florida, back to back, and maybe another one on the way, have just left people just beleaguered, and they need some good news, and they need to hear, to watch some things that maybe will give them a little bit of a respite. So rest of the show, we're going to dig into some of these different subject matters and topics as we go through it. We got to talk about A-Rod giving Robert Saleh the code red. Gave him the old code red. Is that what we're thinking?
He says he didn't, but isn't that what they did in the movie too?
Yeah, neither did Colonel Jessup until he was made to admit it. You
can't
right, I
handle the truth.
You goddamn right, I did. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. Greatest speech in movie history.
It was pretty good.
Oh, awesome. Things you don't like to whisper at cocktail parties. So good. So good. All right. We'll take a break. When we come back, Leo Haggerty's going to join us. We'll get an update on what's going on with USF. Should they even play this game on Saturday? Will they be able to play the game on Saturday at Ray J? Will it be available? We'll check on the status of that and much more. We'll get into the Bucks. Baker Mayfield spoke yesterday. Zion McCollum, Todd Bowles will update you on that extensive injury list on both teams. Spencer Rattler will get the start for the Saints. We'll talk about that. So much more on this Hurricane Uncle Milty edition of the JP Peterson Show. So much thanks to our great sponsors, the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVESLawgroup.com. If you have any issues with insurance companies over these hurricanes, make sure you contact them through the website, JeevesLawgroup.com. Back in 3. Stay with us. September is here, and it's time to celebrate with the stunning birthstone of the month. It's Sapphire at the Gold and Diamond Source. Known for their natural beauty and glamorous allure, Sapphire's truth, sincerity, and faithfulness make it the perfect stone for September. During the 40th anniversary, you can find a special selection of this precious gemstone, from stunning rings and necklaces to elegant earrings and bracelets. Steve Weintraub handpicks every piece for its brilliance and its quality. The expert staff will help you find the perfect gift, whether it's for a loved one, a special occasion, or just to treat yourself. Visit the Gold and Diamond Source today, where you'll always find the perfect gift. It's more than jewelry, it's love. At the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Hey, it's football season, so we welcome back the FSU Football Report every Monday and Friday on the JP Peterson Show, sponsored by those huge FSU fans at Italiano Insurance. They'll save you money as well. Just do a quick insurance checkup, 813-877-7799. They just saved me $500 on homeowners insurance. Who's doing that? Yeah, they just shopped it around, found a better, cheaper company, and we got a cheaper price. And business insurance. Make sure you're covered or you could lose your personal wealth. That's 813-877-7799. ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Noles.
Hey Tampa Bay sports fans, this is two-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the US Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right, that's WWE. Working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Geddes Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or a golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to gettysgordongroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
JP here for Third Generation AC and Plumbing. And Third Generation really says it all, folks. The owner, my friend John Rodriguez, has been in the AC and plumbing business since 1995. They built their business on honest assessments and doing great work on time for a great price. Simple, right? Did you know many AC techs are incentivized on big commissions to sell new AC units, and you might just need a drain cleared? So if you want someone you can trust, that's John Rodriguez and Third Generation Services. Check out the 5-star Google reviews. If you have a plumbing or AC emergency, call 813-961-8024 and a human will answer the phone. That's 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, one of South Tampa's premier traditional Italian restaurants. We were recently voted number 3 on Open Table list of Tampa Bay's top 10 restaurants. We're very proud of that because we take great care of preparing each dish by hand with homemade sauces, pastas, only the freshest local ingredients. You won't see the big institutional vendor trucks pulling up to our back door. We get our seafood from local vendors. Sometimes I even drive out to Topper Springs and pick out our daily catch right off those boats. So stop by and say hello. Try our traditional lasagna, the fresh veal, some of our signature dishes like capelli al granchio, that is angel hair with lump crab meat, our branzino, that is a sea bass. We're located at 4205 South McDill, and you can make a reservation on Open Table and read all the great reviews. See you soon. Ciao. Grazie.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. I have bone to pick with these people that are putting out flood pictures of Disney World. There's a
That aren't real?
They're not real. You know why I have a bone to pick? Because you know who designed the water system at Disney? My dad. Disney doesn't flood. He made it that way.
Very nice. I didn't know that.
It's never flooded, ever. That's right. And what, 50 years?
Yeah.
Damn right. You liars, you AI bastards. There's no flooding at Disney. Mickey does not flood. Mouse can't swim. What?
The Tropicana is AI generated.
Yeah. the Tropicana field, not AI generated.
That is not AI generated.
No, that is for real. All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Thanks so much to all of our sponsors. Even though we ran some spots yesterday, Italiano Insurance, Bay Area Modern Medical Center, the Golden Diamond Source, the Geddes Gordon Group, Extravaganza Productions, our great friends at Third Generation Plumbing and AC. If you need any of that work, go to their website, thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and Rogers Park as well. Well, let's talk some USF with our good friend Leo Haggerty from Amped Up Sports.
He's in the building.
Yes. Where are you emanating from, my friend? Charleston, South Carolina?
I'm up in Charleston, South Carolina, and the funny thing, JP, is 6 months ago, my son is running a Fellowship of Christian Athletes golf outing Tuesday, so I was scheduled to go up anyway. I was getting out of town because I'll tell you what, This one was scary. And I see you're sitting a little bit in the dark, so I'm assuming you don't have power yet, huh?
No, we do. I just don't have all the lights on here.
Oh,
today.
good.
I'm just giving you that hurricane motif.
It's still better in the dark.
Absolutely. The less light, the better. Absolutely, my friend. Well, I'm texting with the folks that run Ray J, and I haven't heard anything back yet. They're probably busy with actual damage assessments, but I did see some video of the field flooded. Now, I know they have a great drainage system. Are you hearing anything about whether the stadium will be available, whether USF wants to continue with the game on Saturday? It is such a huge game, obviously, with Memphis. We'll talk about that. What are you hearing?
I'm hearing nothing right now, JP, other than the game is still on for Saturday. That's the last Brian Seacrest put out. I'm assuming, like you are, they're waiting for the people at Raymond James to assess, is the field playable? And I got to admit, that's the best grass field in the NFL, maybe anywhere. Yeah. I mean, it's like playing on a putting green. Yeah. You know, it drains well. Now,
they have all the subterranean pumps that suck the water out of it. It just probably couldn't keep up with all the rain last night. Eventually, I'm sure they drained it pretty quick.
Yeah, the biggest thing I think South Florida has to deal with is do the players even want to play? And here's why. They've got family all over the state that was probably right in the crosshairs of Hurricane Milton after dealing with Hurricane Helene. So, you know, we had a bye week, which was great for them. But now, how much of these players are going to be concentrating on playing football when their families may not even have a place to live? So I think that's going to be weighed heavily by USF. I know TV money is something big too, but you know what? This is a tough call for Michael Kelly and for the league to decide whether. And you know, we haven't even talked about Memphis trying to get in yet. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, the airport, I believe, is reopened today or reopening today. So they should be able to fly in fine, no problem. And I don't think there's extensive flooding in Tampa. As I mean, there's flooding, obviously, but not to the point where it's impassable. The major roads are impassable. And the interstates, the bridges are back open. So I don't think it should be okay. I'm thinking it should be okay. And it's great. And it was smart for them to move it to Saturday. I think that extra, 18 hours bought them, I think that's going to help a lot for the fans and for the team. But you get a now. I know Alex Golish did a presser yesterday. I didn't watch it. Did you get a chance to watch it? No.
I did not. And again, my daughter's in South Tampa. South Tampa floods anytime somebody goes to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just we got to deal with in South Tampa. So I was more concerned about her. And again, she's a nurse over at Lakeland Hospital, so she couldn't leave anyway.
Right.
And
well, the good news I've heard from some people on my former neighborhood, Davis Islands, that did not flood.
Yeah.
So like Helene did. In fact, the water got sucked out of the bay, which when the rain comes down, that leaves room for those. Where it really gets bad with Davis Island and South Tampa is when the outflow pipes are covered with water. When it's high tide, there's no place for the water to go, and because the outflow goes into the bay. So all those drains in the street, they lead to the bay, and if the water can't get out that way, and it's up high, then that's why it floods. But yesterday, the bay level was so low, the water could get out, which was good. So a lack of, that was the timing was good again. So I think in general, South Tampa is passable, and it should be okay for the game. Now the mental, state of this team is what you got to worry about. And that's up to Alex Golish. And, they've been practicing through the rain. They have the indoor facility, so they should not have lost any practice time. And I'm guessing they're going to play this game because obviously Memphis doesn't want to move it. There's no place on the schedule. I'm looking at South Florida. I don't see any place on their schedule to even move it. Do they have
They got one more.
They just have an open date.
But yeah, Memphis has the same one. And you know what, JP? South Florida relocated to Orlando Tuesday, so they were down there, out of this mess.
Okay.
And again,
they didn't get out of the mess because we're here, and it blew like a son of a bitch last night.
Yeah, it just hammered everybody. And I'll tell you what, JP, when you look at what's happened, we dodged a huge bullet again. This is something that could have been totally disastrous, horrific. And again, what I keep telling my friends is the ones that start in the Atlantic, we don't usually worry about, because once they get to the Gulf, they head west to Louisiana and Texas.
Yeah.
The ones that scare me are the ones that form in the Gulf, because they're going to head east. They're going to follow the weather pattern. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened.
But it doesn't happen often. We've had two in a row that have formed in the Gulf.
Yeah, we
and one that went from a Cat 1 to a Cat 5 in less than 24 hours. Never been done before.
Yeah,
a lot of weird stuff going on.
Oh yeah, and then it was dropping because of the wind shear and everything. But you know what? If you don't believe in God, you believe in God after this one, because this was this was basically a miracle that it didn't take out. Because we saw what happened with Helene up in Cedar Key. I mean, they had a 15-foot storm surge.
Yeah.
You have a 10-foot storm surge in Tampa. That whole peninsula is underwater.
Yeah, that's what we thought was going to happen. But just that little jog to the south was the lifesaver for Tampa, but didn't. And I think Bradenton and Port Charlotte got hit again. But not as bad as they even thought they would. So
yeah, and you know what's funny, JP? Come Sunday, and the reason why I left Sunday is I'm looking at that track, and that eye's supposed to go 2 blocks north of me. I mean, I'm at West Shore, right off of Kennedy, right in that area. And I said, okay, time to get out. I'm not going to.
No, I think people heeded the warnings, and that was good to see.
Yeah, and that was. The little jog south to Bradenton made us north again, which means the storm surge. But I'll tell you what, if I'm Port Charlotte and I see Jim Cantori, who's the angel of death,
well, he was down. He was down on Bayshore,
Oh, I
right by
know.
my old apartment. I'm like, uh-oh.
Well,
Yeah.
when you
And I
see
know
him, you know it's
TGH got a little flooded last night. I heard there was some flooding in TGH, or that was, I not confirmed, but there were a couple of people had that on their stories. So, well, let's talk a little football. Is Byron Brown going to be able to play this week? That's what we need to know.
He's day to day. He's day to
Day to
day.
day.
Day to day. And
Wow.
I think it's going to be a game time decision. Again,
What does he got? A high ankle sprain or knee?
Yeah, as the hockey people would say, it's a
lower
lower
body,
body injury. They're keeping that pretty hush hush, and I don't blame them because I'll make Memphis prepare for him and Archie at the same time. You know, it's just like anything else. You want teams to have to waste practice time preparing for something that they may not have to see. So again, it's going to be. JP, you hit the nail on the head. Alex Golish and Michael Kelly going to have to sit there. They're going to have to judge the heat in the room. You know, how much do these guys want to play? You know, how much are they worried? You know, who's got family that's, you know, displaced completely?
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's kind of just nuts. And let me change gears for a second. The Bucks went to New Orleans, right?
Smart.
I'm hoping they took the family with them.
They did. Yep. They took all their families, their dogs. The Bucks, I think, have 200 hotel rooms in New Orleans, and then they have a bunch of hotel rooms in Gainesville for families. They did an unbelievable job. I was reading Rick Stroud's story, and they're people that do all these logistics are just insanely talented, smart, driven people. I bet they have a military background. I mean, they are just so good at this, and it's seamless for the players, and they have nothing to worry about. You know, I think USF relocating was smart as well. That was, and you know, sometimes that brings the teams together. You know, they travel together, they bond together. These things can be a positive. Baker Mayfield talked about that yesterday, you know, and Zion McCullum did as well, saying, yeah, we're just, you know, when I got a question for, you know, about the game plan, I don't have to call somebody or text somebody. I just go knock on their door next door, or I can go sit down with the coach and talk about these things. So, you know, these things can be a very positive force. And I think that's how, you know, Todd Bowles is trying to play it and the leaders of that team. And I would imagine Alex Golish is doing the same thing, using it to his advantage to bring his team closer together. And that's something that can happen. I've seen that happen with teams.
Yeah, you got them 24/7 for, you know, 3, 4, 5 days.
That's right.
Look at the Bucks. I mean, normally they're there and, you know, they have practice, they have their meetings, and then they go home. Now they're there. Hey, let's go down to the lounge, have a drink, and talk about what we're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Same thing with USF. They're not going to class, and not saying that's a negative, but
yeah, it's a positive in this case.
You got to bond with is your teammates, and
that could be good. Could be good. Now, any other X's and O's things we talk about here? I mean, the Tulane game was just, I mean, it was a disaster on so many levels. You know, and this is what we've seen with the fast break offense. Once it gets rolling and it's 3 and out, the defense is exposed. And that's what happened in Tulane. And Tulane, by the way, really good football team. What, they hang 72 on somebody last week? I mean, they can score. There's no question about that. So, how do you lick those wounds? How do you get better against the Memphis team that's pretty damn good?
You know what, JP? Our biggest concern, you and I, when we talked about this schedule, was, okay, they probably lose to Miami. They'll probably lose to Alabama. Just don't get beat up. And what happened with Miami is they got beat up. They really got hurt physically. And again, I just don't think those, you know, bumps and bruises healed in time to play Tulane. Now they've had a week. They've had a time to get ready. And I think they're going to play a little bit better. But again, that offense, you cannot go 3 and out the first 2 series because you're probably going to be down 14-0.
And they got to get the run game going with Naquan Wright. And they got to get the run game going.
Oh, well, geez. I thought you were talking about Florida State there for a second.
Yeah,
you know?
me too.
talk about
trying to avoid that, Leo. Trying to avoid that.
Yeah. But the absence of a running game. And again, that's what makes that fast-paced, uber tempo offense of USF Go is the running game.
Yeah.
Because if you throw the ball and it's incomplete, guess what? Teams can sub because you got to get back to the huddle. You run the ball, they can't sub. Now you run the ball again, but you got to get ahead of the chains on first down. That's been the biggest problem for USF is their first down efficiency. Very rarely are they 2nd and 6 or less. And that's really a killer because now it eliminates what you want to do. It pretty much says, okay, you got to throw the football. And that's not what you want to do in a fast-paced offense. You want to run this as much as you can, wear that defense down, then hit them with the play action.
Yeah. All right, Leo, any other news coming out? Is their linebacker going to be back?
Again, day to day with Schuler. There's not a whole lot coming out this week just because of the situation.
Yeah.
We haven't had a chance to really talk with the coordinators, and that's who when we talk to Orlando and we talk to Josh on offense. There's where we ask the question: okay, how do they look? What's that? Is you goalies gives us a little tidbit in the beginning. Okay, who's hurt, who's not, and that.
Right.
But then on the next day, we usually talk to
that's where you get the meat.
That's where you get to me. Hey,
I got you.
We got the appetizer, but now we're going for the meat and potatoes. So
he's pretty close to the best, no question.
Yeah. Now,
all right, Leo.
Am I going to see you Saturday for a little bit, or are you just heading to Lightning, weather permitting?
We'll see. I'd like to get a little bit of time in at the USF game, but we got to figure out all the logistics for the Lightning game. They're starting a little early too, so hopefully the game goes off. We can watch a little bit of that and then head on over to the Lightning because I haven't heard anything about Amalie Arena, but I think we would have heard something by now if there were some issues. And again, no real serious flooding in downtown Tampa that I've seen or heard of. So hopefully Amalie Arena is fine too.
And you know what, JP, we talk about Florida getting hit. Okay. The good news is this puppy went dead east.
Yeah.
If it had headed up the coast, man.
Yeah.
You'd have hit Georgia. You'd have hit look what happened with Helene just going inland. I mean, Asheville, North Carolina was underwater. I mean, come on. That's the mountains. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
very strange. Very strange.
So hopefully the Lightning get to play. I'm going to go to USF a little bit. If I can get to the Lightning, I will. But if not,
a doubleheader on Saturday.
Hey, what did Ernie Banks say? Let's play two, right?
Let's play two.
All right, buddy. Hey, talk to you next week.
Thanks, Leo. Appreciate it. Amped Up Sports. Check them out. They've got all the USF information there for you and all kinds of fun stuff. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Take care.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back. We got some indoor footage of what happened at the Trop last night. We're going to talk about the Bucks Saints. The Saints will be starting Spencer Rattler, getting his first start. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance, folks. If you don't know by now, you need flood insurance. You got to have it. 813-877-7799 and homeowners insurance that you can trust. You got to have it. All those things Italiano will help you with, and you can't go without them, obviously. So if you're not happy with the service you're getting from your company, call Italiano. They'll put you with a better company and maybe save you some dollars. 813-877-7799. Back in 3. Hey, it's football season, and we welcome back the Gator Report every Monday and Friday, sponsored by the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Just go to the website. You can contact them through there. Scott Jeeves is a tremendous, aggressive attorney and a big Gator fan, so we appreciate him supporting this show and, of course, your Florida Gators. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Whether it's personal injury or anything else, any law matter at all, it's the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Give them a call. Tell them JP sent you.
All right, this is for all you guys who don't want to go to the gym and do 5,000 crunches. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, you can get on the new True Body machine where you can reduce fat and tone up your muscle. It's like doing 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Define your body as you see fit. True Body offers personalized muscle stimulation that delivers the equivalent of those 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Just get in touch with them at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and the team over there will set you up on TrueBody and get amazing results. Non-invasive with comfortable and little to no pain and zero downtime. You can isolate and target those areas that you want to improve and treat multiple areas simultaneously. It's an amazing machine, so check it out at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com.
JP here to ask the question, are you planning an event, meeting, or conference? If so, you'll want to call the designers and production professionals at Extravaganza Productions Incorporated. With over 35 years of experience in the events industry, designing and producing every type of small to large event, they can provide a huge resource for design ideas, audio, visual, sound, lighting, decor, and entertainment to turn your event into an incredible experience for the entire audience. Folks, I've worked up close and personal with this group at many national events and Tampa events, and they have unique capabilities that help you save time and money in the planning and execution of your next event. Don't delay. Call these pros today at 813-621-4700 or check out their website at extravaganzaproductions.com. Tell them JP sent you, and they'll provide a free initial consultation for your event. Extravaganza Productions, the best in the business. Golfers, listen up. The hottest new driving range craze has come to Rogers Park in Tampa. The Top Tracer range is now open 10 to 9 p.m. And just like you see on TV, every shot is tracked for yardage and accuracy, giving you immediate feedback. And best of all, you can virtually play the top courses like Pebble Beach or St. Andrews with your buddies. Plus, great food and drink options available in the well-appointed hitting bays. Very comfortable out there. Reservations highly recommended, starting at $25 per hour, including balls. Reserve at RogersParkGolf.net. That's RogersParkGolf.net. See you there.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at the Golden Diamond Source, Steve and Julie Weintraub, great local benefactors. And at this time, we need to support all our local businesses, folks. Jewelry stores, restaurants, all the local businesses, most of them that we have right here on the JP Peterson Show can certainly help you out. So the folks at the Golden Diamond Source will be there for you. If you need anything, if you need some cash for repairs and you got some old jewelry, bring it on in. They'll be happy to give you a nice price for that. And, of course, if you're looking for something for a gift, also great as well. So the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Ulmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Getting a call from someone that I want to take to get some information, but I can't do that because we're live.
Why don't you do that and I'll play the video?
All right, you want to do that?
I'll set it up. Take your call.
All right.
All right, we got a little bit of video footage from that I found over on the X machine for the events that occurred over at Tropicana Field through the hurricane for you guys. And it was taken by a security guard that was there on site. I guess they have security guards there. I don't know if it was just there for the storm or if he was there just because they're assigned there and they're there all the time. I don't know how that works. I don't think we have those maybe here, but in any event, this is some of the footage that he took. I got this off. I don't know who posted it originally. My friend Amy Lawrence, may listen to her overnights, maybe on one of your local stations, had reposted this, and it went a little something like this.
Oh, it fucking did. Yeah, it did. Walk me the red bubbles.
So, yeah, pretty dramatic stuff there. I thought it might be a little bit longer, but it wasn't, and that's okay. But, just prayers and thoughts for everybody that was dealing with this. We don't obviously here in North Texas deal with a lot of this. We do get a lot of thunderstorms and tornadoes. I will tell you that. That's always a threat here in North Texas as we live right here in Tornado Alley. But, just thoughts and prayers. It seems like the community, the infrastructure that was set up there for everybody, it seems like everybody, for the most part, heeded the warnings. They took it seriously. I don't know if that was due to the fact that Helene had just sort of been a thing and was a little more destructive, I think, than people thought. Not necessarily there in the Tampa area, but a little bit farther north. But, whatever the reason, the fact that everyone heeded the warnings and took it seriously, I think it's a positive thing. And I think it helped out with reducing some of the fatalities or the potential fatalities that may have occurred either due to flooding or storm surge or wind or whatever. Because there's so many different dangers in situations like this. There's flying debris, there's flooding, there's that's dirty water too in storm surge. If you live near the coast, that's not anything that you want to be involved with and take a chance with. So just kudos to everybody in the Tampa St. Pete area, all along the coast there in Florida, all the way bisecting the state through Orlando and over to the East Coast, the Atlantic coast, where the storm is now still a Category 1 hurricane, by the way, as it moves off towards the east away from Florida. And still a dangerous situation if you're out in the middle of the Atlantic right now. But looking at everything that we looked at before the show, JP and I were sort of looking at some weather predictions. There's 3 storms already in the Atlantic that are brewing. One, I think he said Nadine was going to be the next named storm, or that was next on the list. But there's already one, I think it's Leslie, that's out in the Atlantic that could certainly, if it intensifies and takes the right track, it could hit or somehow affect the east coast of Florida, unless it decides to dip off into the Atlantic and continue to go that route. So you guys just keep hunkering down, keep doing what you're doing. You guys have weathered this storm and the previous one, and I'm sure you'll weather the next one. And we all here in DFW and at FanStream Sports, all of our hosts across the country and everybody involved with the network, certainly thinking of you guys and appreciate everything that you guys do for us, all the support you give us on the JP Peterson Show and all of our other great shows over at fanstreamsports.com. And I know the local sponsors, certainly G's Law Group, Bay Area Modern Medical Center, Italiano Insurance, a Golden Diamond Source, the Geddes Gordon Group, Extravaganza Productions, all of them. I'm sure they appreciate all the support that you give them there normally. So yeah, a little bit of the comments. If you go, it looks like JP's back now. JP.
Yes. I was just speaking with Eric Hart over at Tampa Sports TSA, and he said the Ray J is fine. Ray J is fine. No problems. The field was flooded because Himes was flooded and the water couldn't get out. Mm-hmm. So once the water receded a little bit from the rains, it got out. But his point is, and he lives in South Tampa, that a lot of the roads are impassable because of trees, and power is out all over South Tampa. So his thought is, and he said Michael Kelly's working with the league right now, and they're trying to figure out whether they can do this. And he said the airport's still not open. So will they be able to fly people in? And then the other thing that he mentioned that's very important, he said the stadium is ready. Stadium is no damage, can handle everything. The field's fine. Everything's good. But the vendors that have to service the stadium, do they have power for their refrigerated trucks? Do they, for their refrigeration at their warehouses, and they got to get the trucks in, you got to, get all the food ready, all these ancillary things that have to happen. Are those people available to do those jobs? Probably not. Right. If you don't have power and you're taking care of your family, how do you get to work? There's a lot. So that he feels like the stadium's fine. They could do it, but there'll be a lot of things, the people around it that serve the stadium, like the first responders. Yeah. They've been on 24-hour shifts. So in that sense, South Tampa probably not ready to host a big football game right now. And maybe the fans probably dealing with stuff. If you're a fan, do you really, and you don't have power, are you ready? You might want to go to a football game where they have power. They actually have power at Raymond James Stadium. So they go to that club, gets some air conditioning, right? So I think so. The best thing I could say right now is it's still very much up in the air whether they're going to play on Saturday. And then I would ask this, now the Amalie Arena is a little bit of a different animal. Because it's a little bit more self-contained, I think, in terms of vendors and everything, but they still have to get food trucked in for the opener. There are tons of plans for the opening game, the blue carpet walk, all these things that still have to be set up and executed. We missed out on our rehearsal for Lightning Vision this week, and we were trying to find a time where we could, rehearse and do another rehearsal. So we're behind on that. The game presentation is behind. So there's a lot up in the air. I would say at this point, this is just my gut feeling. My gut feeling, you're talking to Eric, that USF's game might be pushed back maybe to Sunday or Monday. And then I would say I think the Lightning game's going to go. I think that'll go on Saturday. I think a lot of the preparations are probably already done. So, and we have a great organization over there. I'm sure they were way ahead of this and we're prepared. So I think that's my gut feeling. But again, stay vigilant in terms of finding out from your ticket reps. And of course, on my social media, I'll be putting it out as soon as I get the updates from the Lightning. I'll be putting it out to see where they're at. But they'll open obviously Friday night, tomorrow night at up in Raleigh against the Hurricanes. Ironically enough, the name of the team we're playing is the Hurricanes. Silly as that. But so that's the latest. Ray J. There's there'll be no issues with the Bucks moving forward. They're fine. That stadium is built like a brick shiz house, so it's nice. So there you go. I saw some of your video there from inside the Trop. That looks bad.
Looks scary, doesn't it? Yeah. I mean, it wasn't very long, but you could get the gist of what was happening there. And I'm sure being inside the stadium at that point wasn't very fun either for that security guard that was videoing that.
Yeah, because at that point you're just thinking that whole catwalk's coming down.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in there when
it's crazy.
And that's the thing. It's like, oh wait, I just got an update here. We're producing on the air, folks.
Yep.
So
Christopher Cole says he doesn't have power at his house in Bartow, Florida.
Okay. Okay. I don't want to say anything out of turn here because I'm not sure we can. I'm not putting this out there.
Good morning, Nathan. Glad you're okay.
I would say I will take back what I just said about the Lightning game. I'll take it back. Okay. So keep an eye on it. Unless it appears that it's likely it won't happen. The Lightning game on Saturday night likely won't. So,
and that would be mainly due to infrastructure problems, right?
Yeah, exactly. Everything is, and you got to understand these games and like putting on a game. I know we just buy our tickets and walk in, but the preparations, and obviously when you're there for a morning skate, you see all the load-ins that are happening. I mean, all the vendors are showing up at the back door and they're getting, it's a well-oiled machine. Don't get me wrong. It is a well-oiled machine at all of our stadiums. Well, maybe not the Trop, but where they spend the money for the fan experience and don't spare anything. It's a well-oiled machine. So, but again, when it's about you still need people. You got to have people. You got to have staff. And if the staff can't get there or are dealing with not having power and all these other things, it's not going to work. So, a lot of issues. So I would say probably, Saturday night, it maybe won't happen, but they'll reschedule that. There'll be plenty of dates they can reschedule that game. So, anyway, keep an eye on my social media at the JP Peterson Show on the X Machine, Facebook and Instagram, all that good stuff. We'll be putting out all the updates as soon as we get them. So my gut feeling is no Saturday Bulls game, no Saturday Lightning game. Not reporting it, gut feeling. That's where we're at. How's that?
So good. Good news, for those that wanted to go that couldn't go. Now you might not have to go. So
yeah, and that's the other thing. People, these tickets are expensive, right? Especially for the Lightning, and
sure.
And club tickets for USF ain't cheap. They have some cheaper tickets, but they're not cheap. So you don't want to say, "Hey, fans, we're open. Come on." And they're like, well, the F? We got no power for 3 days. The roads are impassable. I mean, I don't want to lose my tickets. I want to waste my money. And you try to sell them. Nobody else can go either. It's kind of, it's not great for the fans. So maybe it's best to just to postpone these things until we can get back on our feet. And yeah, I did just see another projection of another hurricane coming in next Thursday.
I was talking about that a little bit while you were on the phone. Yeah.
Yeah. A Cat 1 or 2, maybe 3.
And at this point, it doesn't matter even if it's just a tropical storm. The area is already saturated. The ground is saturated. It can't take any more water. They're still going to be cleaning up from the previous 2 storms that have rolled through the area. So literally just a bad thunderstorm that rolled through there would just do more damage at this point. So it doesn't matter how bad the hurricane is or how big or strong it is. It's just any storm that rolls through there in the next couple of weeks is going to just make things worse. So we'll keep an eye on that for sure.
Yeah, people are postulating on X like what's next for Tropicana Field. Some people like doing an artist rendering of Tropicana Field without a roof.
Without a roof, yes.
That won't work, folks. It is not made for any drainage in that place whatsoever. So it can't handle any rain whatsoever. So I don't think you can retrofit it with sewer drainage either.
No, above ground.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. Let's drill down a little bit on the Buccaneers as they get set to take on the Saints. And I was just perusing the injury list that came out yesterday. We'll get a new one today. Wow. It's a lot. Graham Barton did not practice because of a hamstring. Starting center has a hamstring.
That's new. Yeah.
That's new. Christian Izzian did not practice because of his elbow and groin. That's new. Good news, Kalijah Cansey did practice fully. So it looks like they kind of targeted this mini bye to bring Kalijah back and get him ready to go. That'll be huge against a rookie quarterback in Spencer Rattler. Got to rattle him. Got to rattle the Rattler. Jalen McMillan was limited with his hamstring. Trey Palmer still in concussion protocol, did not practice. Rashad White limited with a foot. Jordan White limited with a groin. And Antoine Winfield limited with a foot as well. Luke Gedeke, who I may not have mentioned, still in concussion protocol, but fully practiced as he did last week.
Yep.
So that's a not no. Okay, Derek Carr is not playing because of the oblique. He may be gone for the season or a large portion of it, which means Spencer Rattler steps up.
Gross.
Watching a lot of Saints Twitter yesterday, they're like, "Yeah, get rid of Carr. We just Rattler ain't giving it back." I'm like, okay.
Wow. Apparently, these people in New Orleans have never seen Spencer Rattler play football,
or they're just drunk 24/7.
That would be my. I mean, that's yeah. I'm from there, and I'm drunk 24/7. So
there you go. So also Willie Gay, linebacker, was limited. Will Harris, the safety, hamstring, did not practice. Taysom Hill has a rib, did not practice. Kamara, hip and hand, did not practice. It's their whole freaking offense at this point, especially with Rattler playing. Kendre Miller,
if they're missing Kamara and Shaheed.
Yeah, Shaheed's got a hip.
Yeah, and Derek Carr's not playing. Dude,
and Kamara's banged up.
That's what I'm saying. Kamara didn't practice. Shaheed didn't practice. We already know Carr is out. Taysom Hill didn't practice.
They're screwed.
They're screwed. That's it.
Pete Werner, great linebacker.
Yeah.
Hamstring. Wow.
Yeah,
Peyton Turner did not practice. Wow, they are beat up.
Yeah, it's bad.
They are beat up. Okay, well, here we go. But listen, as soon as we freaking say that, what do we say? Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Struggling rookie quarterback. Looks like Tom Brady against the Bucs. I mean, my Lord, if they do not figure out a way to get some pressure on this kid, mentally and physically, don't play freaking 15 yards off every dadgum play. Get after his ass. And if it doesn't work, keep getting after his ass.
You got to pressure Spencer Rattler.
I mean, that's what happened against Bo Nix. They got beat the first 2 plays on deep balls or semi-deep balls, big chunk plays, and then they pulled out of it. and didn't seem to pressure Bo Nix the rest of the game. By the time they pressured him, it was 17-0. The game was over. So, Lord, please do not let this rookie quarterback come in here in his debut like Daniel Jones did a few years ago and just rip the Bucs defense. There's no reason for that. And if Antoine Winfield and Kalijah Kancey are back, this should be a win. There's never any easy wins in the NFL, even with injuries and all that stuff. I get it. But you're starting a rookie quarterback. Your main weapons are banged up. You're coming off a game that you should have won. You're coming off a 10-day mini bye. They're coming off a short week. Get her done. Get her done. I don't want to be mean because obviously there's some distractions going on with their families, but the Bucs have done everything they possibly can to minimize those distractions.
Yeah.
And anything left behind can be replaced with those huge salaries that you have. I'm not trying to lack any compassion here, but go do your job. You're a highly paid football player. You've been living in a beautiful hotel, a 5-star hotel all week. Go play freaking football on Sunday and kick some ass and win a big freaking divisional game. Get to 4-2, have a road win in division, kind of erases what happened in Atlanta. And then you get into the meat of your schedule, which suddenly looks a lot more doable. Yeah. 49ers are limping, right? They're not that great this year. Doesn't look like. The Chiefs can be had. The Ravens can be had. The Ravens defense is awful at this point. So, I mean, not awful, but gettable. This looks like it looks like, you look at 5 games into the season where the Bucs are at. And I look at this in totality. What have we learned? Well, Baker's been red hot. He's good in this offense. They got a lot of weapons. And when he's on, and he's been on more than he's been off, this team's going to score 28, 30, 35 points a game, which is good enough to win most weeks.
Yeah.
All right. This defense, when it gets back to full strength, for God's sakes, or even close to it with their key players back, Kancey and Winfield, then I think they can do a lot of damage. I think they can be a really, really good football team. Tyke Smith is coming along. Jamel Dean needs to get off his ass and start playing with some aggression because I was watching the All-22 last night, and he is playing lazy football, really lazy football. Somebody needs to light a fire under his ass because he's better than this. He's way better than this, than he's playing. And he needs to get better. He needs to play better. They need to tackle better. But I think they will. This 10 days off, this team has been extremely fatigued, through these last few weeks, starting even at the Detroit game with the 83 plays. Then you get beat up by the Broncos. Then you play a cook, a pressure cooker, heat cooker in 110-degree weather. Then you come back and play a short week physical game against the Falcons. So now you had a chance to catch your breath a little bit, heal up, and now go play a football game against a team that's really beat up and, on a bit of a losing streak here. So no excuses this week. I'm sorry. There's no excuses for the Bucs to not win this game. It's a rookie quarterback making his first start. For God's sakes, go get him. Was that mean?
No, not at all. But I mean, somebody within the organization needs to do that.
Have that conversation.
Have that conversation with him, yeah.
Yeah, because you get to the point where it's like, oh, we understand you're on the road, the hurricane, blah 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 blah. We get all that, But
you know who he looks like to me?
Who?
The last couple of games that I've watched him.
Who are we talking about?
Dean. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, Jamel Dean.
Yeah, Jamel Dean. Yeah, you know who he looks like though? The last couple of games that I've watched, he looks like Devin White. Like not quite as lost, but he's. Speaking of Devin White, by the way, I don't know if you all covered it Monday. I don't think it happened on Monday, but he was cut by the Eagles.
We haven't really talked about that.
Yeah,
but and it's people talking about bringing him back. I'm like, what are you? What?
Why?
No. This is a great locker room. The last thing you need is Devin White in there. You just don't need it. And he's not a good player. It's as simple as that. That's why he got cut. He's not a good player. He's been exposed. Yeah. He can't get off blocks. I mean, we've been talking about this for 3 years, for God's sakes. And this is, the Bucs need to take a little hit here. we've complimented them a lot. They held on to Devin White way too long. The film showed you that he was not playing the way he should be playing. And no one knew that more than Todd Bowles. And he kept coming to the damn podium telling us how great Devin White was. And I was like, what?
I still don't understand that.
I don't get it either. I understand that his father tragically died in prison, some weird circumstances. I know Todd loves him like a son, and that's great from a human standpoint. And you want to have compassion and you want to support the kid and give him every chance, but this is your livelihood, Todd, and the fans and everybody else, and you're accountable to the team, and he knows this. But it's, this is a human part of it. You want to see the kid succeed. But he was clearly too wrapped up and zeroed in on money, that $100 million. It's all he ever talked about. It's all he ever talked. I'm going to be $100 million. He just did not play the game the way these other guys play the game. All selfish. I got to go put up stats. I'm going to go out of my discipline to go get a shot here, a tackle here, an interception there, a fumble. Can't play that way. You got to play within the defense, and he never really did. And who needs that back? We don't need that. I know we got injuries, but bring up Kalen DeLoach.
And you'll notice there's not been a line of people to sign him since he's been cut. He is still available.
And the Bucs held on to him for too long.
Yeah.
They should have traded him the year before his fifth season. Was it 2 years ago? Where where Jonathan Vilma is still telling us on the telecast he's the best linebacker in football. Woo! I mean, seriously, week in and week out. He's one of the best. And who else was it? Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis was like, he's a top 5 linebacker.
He put him on his list of top 5, who probably hasn't watched a football game in 10 years.
Well, clearly not Devin White's play. I mean, he knows better than that. So, but you could have got something for him at that point and maybe something significant. And you knew he was cooked. And he's doing all those stupid shenanigans on his Instagram. I mean, before the season, and he's like, I'm going to hold out. Shut up. Trade his ass. He should have traded his ass right there. So you went through a season of him like, I'm not starting today. Well, then my ankle hurts. Get out of here.
I mean, there's a lot of teams out there, JP, that almost called you Colby. There's a lot of teams out there that need linebacker help. There's injuries.
Well, good. Take him.
Hopefully
you're on our schedule and he's starting.
Yeah, no one has even called him to say, hey, why don't you come work out for the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Or the Rams or the Seahawks. They're all dealing with injuries at the linebacker position. Just nobody cares.
Good morning to you, Nathan Elliott. He says Milton was taken seriously because it was the first storm that went west to east from Mexico. Never seen a storm do that. Nope, neither have I, Nathan. First time. Never seen one strengthen like that. Never seen one move. Start in that part of the by the Yucatan Peninsula and go straight beeline for the I-4 corridor a month before the election. Never seen that.
We clearly know Milton's a Republican, right?
No power at my house in Bartow, Christopher Cole. I'm sorry to hear that. And by the way, my son even asked me this. He goes, Dad, and my daughter, I've had 2 conversations with them. Dad, you don't believe they can control the weather, do you? I mean, come on. I'm like, you want me to send you the 1996 congressional hearing with the deputy director of the CIA testifying in Congress that, yes, they can control the weather and they do control the weather. They have instruments to do so.
Since the 50s.
So you want to – no, I'm like, can they do things like this? Would they do it? Yes. We've learned now that they would do it. They would do anything to kill people. That's pretty much that's a given. We know that. So once you get past that hurdle where you understand that clearly this government ain't working for you and they're targeting you. Once you figure that out, and it's pretty damn obvious, you start asking questions. And as I did all this deep dive into the research, like, can they affect the weather? And every piece of research I did, documented stuff, congressional hearings, people within the system that work with the system testifying to this, saying they've done this, saying they've done that. It's all documented. Yes, they can. Now, to this degree, I don't know. Can they steer a storm? A lot of people think they can. Can they make a storm more intensified? A lot of people think they can. A lot of people have testified that they can. We've seen instruments that they use to do it.
Yeah.
So we have pictures. We have all this stuff. There's all kinds of stuff. Now, there's denials out there too, but those are typically the people you would expect to deny it. So I don't know. I don't know for sure, but there's a lot of evidence that suggests they can. And there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Nathan Elliott says, we have power. Pool cage was damaged. The neighbor's tree came down on our fence. We had some tree debris. No damage at home. Mom, pops, all are good. That's good to hear. Thank you, Nathan. Good to hear from you, my friend. He also says, do not think the Aints will be screwed on Sunday. Bucks will play down to the competition. They can lose. Nathan, you're right. How many times have we seen the Bucks play down to the competition and just absolutely allow rookie quarterbacks to just do whatever the F they want? Oh, Christopher, Bucks will still find a way to lose. Golly, nobody has any faith. Bowles needs to bench Dean for a half to light a fire up his ass. I'm for that. Yep. Dean looks like Vernon Hargraves. Oh, no, Nathan. Did you invoke the name of the corner whose name should not be spoken? Vernon Hargraves? Says got a lot of physical traits, but the film study is not there. He is also being coached very soft. Man, I see a lot of bad technique. I see a lot of laziness. There were plays there were plays. I was watching that all 22 yesterday, and let me tell you it's what you do during a hurricane when you have power. And you just can't watch any more hurricane coverage.
Right.
You see opportunities him in the run game and the pass game to come up and hit people and do some damage. He ain't doing it. Looks like a Florida State defensive back. Nathan said, I was told that it was reported that the Bucs are going to bring White back as an outside linebacker defensive end.
I'd like to know who reported that and then discredit them.
Yeah, Christopher says D. White hasn't been the same since his dad passed.
Maybe
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. And I hate to be
look, some people can overcome that type of thing, that type of personal tragedy, and sometimes it makes them a better person. If they're an athlete, it might make them a better player because everything they do from that point forward is in honor and in memory of their past loved one. Other guys can't overcome stuff like that, and it just depends on it. It's not a knock on either side. It's just that's who you are, and I get it.
And his dad, I mean, as far as I know, his dad had been in prison for a while.
Yeah.
So it's not like he was a daily influence in his life.
Right.
So I don't know. I want to speak for his mindset, but I'm just talking about football here. The guy was he became a very bad football player, and the Bucs held on to him for way too long. But we don't need to bring him back. That's the purpose of this right now.
JP, you want a programming note?
I do.
The JP Peterson show on our X feed outdrew by live viewers, outdrew the Kevin Stefanski live press conference for the Cleveland Browns on X.
Well,
we have more live viewers by several thousand than Kevin Stefanski drew in Cleveland.
2,132 up there in the left corner. Well, thank you guys for joining us.
Appreciate our Twitter count for the whole show's almost 8,500, and Kevin Stefanski didn't even get to 2,000 on his press conference. So there you go.
Why would you watch that anyway?
I mean, even if you're a Browns fan.
Well, you would turn in because, like, at what point do you not turn to Jameis?
Well, yeah, that's what everybody in Cleveland's asking is, are you going to announce that Jameis is this? But he's not, because he's already said he's not making a quarterback change, that Deshaun Watson's not the problem. And he's kind of right, because I think part of the problem is his play calling. They also want to know if he's going to turn over play calling to Ken Dorsey, which he says he's not going to do. He's like, I've made the playoffs 2 out of my 4 years by calling plays. I'm not giving it up.
Full steam ahead.
Yeah. You go, Cleveland.
Okay, Mike Norvell.
Cleveland's going to Cleveland.
He needs a broken hand on that quarterback to make a quarterback change.
Man.
Yeah. FSU has the weekend off, and then they're at Duke on Friday night. They needed a break as well, and hopefully Brock Glenn who looked great. I went back and looked at that game as well. So many drop passes. He could have had 2 more deep touchdowns. Boy, their receivers are awful. FSU's receivers are awful. Well, they've got a good core of receivers. They want to play 75 guys. for whatever reason. And, they have a good core. Hakeem, Ja'Kai Douglas, Teofili those are three core players. Cam in the backfield, Brock Glenn. They're two young tight ends now. Amari and Landon Thomas look great. Ja'Kai, who else? Oh, and the Alabama kid. Forgetting his name, the transfer. He's played good. Malik Benson. Yeah, he's played good.
Okay.
So you got three good wideouts, decent wideouts. Stop playing the other guys. You got two good young tight ends that don't drop the ball, Morlock, every single time. You got a couple of good backs, and now you got a quarterback that can run. You should be able to put some points on the board. Stick with the guys that can play. Stop messing around. I don't know what the hell you're going to do with offensive line because all those guys suck. But they were same guys that blocked for Jordan Travis, where Jordan Travis should have won the Heisman, for God's sakes. You make that offensive line look good, make that offense score 35 points a game behind that same group. He must have been the greatest quarterback of all time.
Do they give a hindsight Heisman?
Jesus Christ. The Jets, screw Aaron Rodgers, get Jordan Travis ready. That guy's a freaking miracle worker if he did that behind that offensive line, right? Think about it. All right, let's do one more break. We'll come back, talk a little lightning, and then we'll wrap things up here on this truncated edition of the JP Peterson Uncle Milty post-game show. Thank you, Uncle Milty, for not being a really rat bastard that we thought you were going to be.
Yeah.
But still, there's lots of people without power, and there's still plenty of cleanup to go. Quick break. We're brought to you by the great folks at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. If you have some issues with your plumbing at your house or your air conditioning unit or anything really, whatever you need with your house, remediation, they can help you with it. And that's great to know because they're third generation. They're a great company. They're honest. They'll give you a great deal and they'll do what they say they're going to do. Not all these fly-by-night companies that are popping up will do that. So go with the people that have been around. thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Contact them through the website. Back in 3. Discover a world of elegance and sophistication at the Gold and Diamond Source. Whether you're searching for your first piece or celebrating a special milestone, their expert team is here to guide you every step of the way. Navigating the world of fine jewelry can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Their knowledgeable staff is dedicated to helping you choose the perfect piece, ensuring you feel confident and informed. At the Gold and Diamond Source, they pride themselves on offering only the highest quality jewelry. From stunning engagement rings to timeless watches, each piece is crafted with precision and care. So take advantage of their 5 years interest-free financing. This means you can get a $5,000 piece and only pay $83 a month. And if you're new to buying diamonds, their first-time buyer program will educate you on the 4 C's: cut, color, clarity, and carat, and help you understand the different shapes and sizes available. Go enjoy the great staff at the Gold and Diamond Source. You'll be family forever. It's the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Ulmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Hey Tampa Bay sports fans, this is two-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the US Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right. That's WWE. Working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Geddes Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or a golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to gettysgordongroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
JP here for Third Generation AC and Plumbing. And Third Generation really says it all, folks. The owner, my friend John Rodriguez, has been in the AC and plumbing business since 1995. They built their business on honest assessments and doing great work on time for a great price. Simple, right? Did you know many AC techs are incentivized on big commissions to sell new AC units and you might just need a drain cleared? So if you want someone you can trust, That's John Rodriguez and Third Generation Services. Check out the 5-star Google reviews. If you have a plumbing or AC emergency, call 813-961-8024 and a human will answer the phone. That's 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Hey, it's football season, so we welcome back the FSU Football Report every Monday and Friday on the JP Peterson Show, sponsored by those huge FSU fans at Italiano Insurance. They'll save you money as well. Just do a quick insurance checkup, 813-877-7799. They just saved me $500 on homeowners insurance. Who's doing that? Yeah, they just shopped it around, found a better, cheaper company, and we got a cheaper price. And business insurance. Make sure you're covered or you could lose your personal wealth. That's 813-877-7799. ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Noles.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, one of South Tampa premier traditional Italian restaurant. We were recently voted number 3 on Open Table list of Tampa Bay's top 10 restaurants. We're very proud of that because we take great care of preparing each dish by hand with homemade sauces, pastas, only the freshest local ingredients. You won't see the big institutional vendor trucks pulling up to our back door. We get our seafood from local vendors. Sometimes I even drive out to Topper Springs and pick out our daily catch right off those boats. So stop by and say hello. Try our traditional lasagna, the fresh veal, some of our signature dishes like capelli al granchio, that is angel hair with lump crab meat, our branzino, that is a sea bass. We're located at 4205 South McDill, and you can make a reservation on Open Table and read all the great reviews. See you soon. Ciao. Grazie.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Bad timing with the breakfast. Welcome back to the JP Peterson.
Me too.
Trying to cram it all in this morning. I woke up this morning. I was like, man, I didn't get much sleep last night at all. The wind was howling through here. I mean, I looked out the window a couple times. I actually went outside a few times and couldn't get off my porch because the wind, was the wind was being blocked. And once I stepped out into the open wind, I mean, I'm 230 pounds, and it could have blown me away easily, taken me right down the street easily. I mean, it was bad. And I've been looking out the window a couple times, just watching the ferocity of the winds. And we probably got gusts into the 90s, I would think. There was a couple of readings around here in the upper 80s. I'm like, I've been in 100-mile-an-hour winds, and that felt like 100-mile-an-hour winds. I've been in 100-mile-an-hour winds in Orlando and Charlie. Charlie's the highest recorded wind gust in Orlando at 103. And what we got last night was every bit of that, every single bit of that. It was brutal. It was, and of course it was much worse in downtown St. Pete and Tampa. Mm-hmm. And, when I say that we were spared catastrophic, but as we mentioned, there's trees down everywhere and the power is out, and it's going to take a while for it to get back. So thanks to all the linemen that are out there working their ass off. And by the way, stay off the roads. Don't go out joyride. Oh, I'm going to see go see what happened. No, stay off the roads. There are power lines down everywhere. You might not even see it when you roll over it, and then you don't want that. Stay off them. It looks like it's all clear. I know it's sunny and it looks great, but just stay off the roads if you don't have to be out there, because the linemen are out there working. The responders are out there getting people back in power, and there's still plenty of danger out there with the debris that's out there. So just be careful. Please be careful. As I mentioned, with no announcements yet as for that. I haven't gotten anything. Usually they'll send it out to the media on email. So I've gotten nothing from USF or the Lightning officially about the Saturday games. But as I mentioned, we spoke to Eric Hart of the TSA, and the Raymond James is fine. They came through it great. The field's fine. They're ready to go if they have to play on Saturday. But maybe all the surrounding, the first responders, the security that they have to have, the vendors, all the people that work the games, the fans, are the fans ready to come to a game? That's up for debate. So Michael Kelly may be trying to move that. And even even if they could probably move it to Monday, I think would be much better because I think you'd have a lot more people with power. The cleanup would have been gone. I think people might be in a better space to do that. So we'll see.
And this is the season opener, right?
Yeah, for the Lightning. Yeah, I was talking about USF there for a second for Raymond James. It's a season. It's the home opener on Saturday night. Yes, the home opener, which we've been preparing for a long time. There's a lot of things that go into the home opener, but again, there's a lot of stuff that has to happen from a vendor standpoint, from a fan, are fans able to make it to the arena? And I don't know if there was any damage at the arena. At this point, what we're hearing for the people that work there is we'll let you know, but it's probably not going to happen. But we'll see. A lot has to be worked out. So we shall see.
Just stay tuned.
Stay tuned. But we will have hockey tomorrow night up in Raleigh, and I cannot wait to see this new look team with Jake Gensel, who, by the way, is dealing with a little bit of an injury. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but he should be ready to play, and we'll get a look at this new look team with Ryan McDonough back, Connor Geeky in there, a lot of new names, a lot of new combinations, line combinations, but of course the core is still the same, except for Stammer. I saw a little video of him getting ready to play for the Preds. Man, I was like, oh wow,
that's Stars Preds tonight.
Yeah, right. We get to watch Stamkos tonight. Is that on? Is that regional or is that national?
I think it's on. We don't really have a local. Well, we have Bally's, but nobody has Bally's, so we can't watch it.
That's interesting.
They're in Nashville. So yeah, I don't think it's probably ESPN. I mean, that's ESPN Plus. Like that's the best place because I have that subscription. So a lot of times I can watch them on there.
I think Lightning fans are going to want to see that.
Yeah, ESPN Plus.
So, what do we got going on in baseball now? So the Mets have beaten the Phillies, so they're moving on. The Dodgers forced Game 5 behind a historic bullpen shutout of the mighty Padres. And so that's going to be interesting. We got a Game 5. Lindor's killing it for the Mets, leading them. Yanks are up 2-0.
And by the way, how about that? I wanted to mention this. The Francisco Lindor home run, that biggest home run maybe in franchise history, at least up to now.
Yeah.
The way he handled it. There was no bat flip. There was no stare down. There was no pointing. Dude, he just ran the bases like he'd done it 1,000 times before.
Classy.
And and again, I'm okay with the big home run in the playoffs, screaming and the hooting and hollering and celebrating. But what you saw from Lindor was just a rarity these days.
You liked it.
I did. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not my team. I have no dog in that fight whatsoever. It was kind of fun to see. I was like, does he know what he just did? But yeah, he did. It's just a classy move.
Luke Weaver gets a 5-out save for the Yankees after Giancarlo Stanton hit a no-doubter go-ahead home run in the 8th inning of Game 3. So now the Yankees have a 2-1 lead in the ALDS over the Royals, and they'll start reigning AL Cy Young winner Garrett Cole in Game 4 on Thursday night.
Go Royals.
Go Royals. Yeah. They got a long road to hoe, though. That's going to be tough for them. Yeah. Come back from that. All right. Anything else we want to get out there? Anything that we missed?
I don't think so. Do you have a team that you're pulling for in the postseason, AL or NL?
Well, I was going to try to ride the Phillies. That didn't work so well.
No.
It looks like the Royals are going to be out. I can't root for the Yankees or the Dodgers. They're clearly out.
Yeah. I mean, Padres,
my sister lives in San Diego. I've been to quite a few Padres games at Petco Park. Always loved the Padres uniforms. Tony Gwynn was always a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
So I think I'll go for the Friars. The Friars. That logo of the fat friar swinging the bat.
That was so great.
Is there anything better than that? The fat friar. in this whole mock-up or whatever the hell that is? What do they call that?
Great.
I don't know what they call it. Their gown. Yeah. So yeah, let's go Padres. Let's go Padres. I can do that. Oh, good. That'll work.
I'm going to put that logo up on the screen here in a second, just for old time's sake here.
You got it?
I'm up. Yeah, I got it. Let's see.
Meanwhile, Nathan Elliott says Raymond James may be a hot place to play on game day, but at least we will be able to be there. If the Bucks played at the Trop or a Dome, it would not be ready on game day. That's right. Hard Rock World. Oh, there it is. There it is. The fat. He's got the hair too. You know,
yep.
the little bowl on top.
Yep, and the sandals on.
You got the sandals on. The fat. That's awesome. That's
so
a great logo. That's a fantastic logo. Love that. The Fat Friar. Well done, Padres.
Yes.
All right. That'll do it for today, folks. A big thanks to our sponsors who allow us to do this every day. Jeeves Law Group, Bay Area Modern Medical Center, Italiano Insurance, the Golden Diamond Source, the Geddes Gordon Group, Extravaganza Productions, and Third Generation Plumbing in Rogers Park. Golf Course, thank you to all of them. Timmy, thank you for doing this today. Hope you guys got a little respite from all the shenanigans going on. We love you guys. Big numbers today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate all of you, and that's why we got up and did this today. Have a great day, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow for more fun and frivolity on Friday. Lots of F words there. There'll be some more F words in the show tomorrow. See you then. Thank you, Timmy.